Oh,
All right, we're live back at Doomsday's Crypt. Actually, at Doomsday's Crypt, I'm happy to be here with Michael Moutsatsos. Did I say
you
it right?
got it.
It's like a tongue twister. To watch it's she sells seashells down by the seashore. I had to practice that to say your name, but
Yeah.
welcome, Mike.
Thank you
Um,
for having me.
Michael's an award-winning indie filmmaker, and was that for The Butcher you won most of those awards so far, or is that for Ravage also?
Both. The Butcher won 60 awards, laurel certificates. You don't get a trophy for everything. And then
Oh, yeah.
Ravage has won 25 so far.
Yeah. It's it was an interesting movie. There was a lot I want to talk to you about, but we're gonna
Uh,
keep it spoiler free because I want you guys out there to check out his movies because
Thank
they're
you.
interesting, a fresh take in my opinion. And let me see who's here. RJ Moss, how you doing, RJ? Good to see you, man. If you go to the link so I can see you because it comes up like this for me, it saves me from having to look down on YouTube. All you have to do is go to the StreamYards link. It's real quick. It'll let me see your name on that. We got Stephen Natale here. He's saying, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Live with Mike. Michael,
Stephen,
do most people call you Moot?
Stephen Attal. Yeah, I mean he's a great friend of mine. Do people call
Uh,
me what?
Moot? Anybody call you Moot or anything like that?
My nickname is Moose.
I was going to ask. I didn't want to call you the Moose because, hey, what do you call me a Moose for? Hey, I ain't no Moose. A
Yeah.
Moose? But yeah, so I watched both films are started. I finished Ravage. You
Okay.
know, I've been starting it, and I'd get to like 12 o'clock at night, and I'd get through it
Right.
like 20 minutes, and then after a long days of work, I'm like, oh man, I'll go watch it tomorrow, and then I get busy again, start it over because I want to absorb. I'm like that. I like to absorb everything,
Right. Right.
and so without too many spoilers, I'm gonna go without too many spoilers on Ravage because I want everybody to see it. You tend to use a lot of black and white in that for your flashbacks. Was that almost? I'm sure there was a reason for it.
There
Um,
was.
Everything in the past was it
Everything in the
just
past that took place in 2019
yeah,
during COVID, I wanted that to be black and white. And then when it goes into 2032, it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. It becomes color. And yeah, I wanted, the bad times of what we were going through to be just in the black and white. So,
was it a little homage to the old school filmmaking too with the black and white?
yeah, I mean, I love old school filmmaking. I'm doing it's not called Ravage to the Hunted anymore. It's now called Do Hybrids Dream of Humans? And it's a standalone film. That is strictly black and white. There's hybrids, there's creatures, strictly black and white.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I like me. I love Psycho. I
Right.
actually
Oh, yeah.
I want to do a Psycho review with a friend of mine. Me and her talked about it just to kind of go through it. I even liked all the way up to part four. Of course, the original Psycho from 1960s.
Yeah.
You know, to me, other than you give Alfred Hitchcock and Edgar Allan Poe, those are my two favorite horror people in the past, and then
Right.
John Carpenter and so on. But yeah, I think Alfred Hitchcock and Psycho doesn't get the love today that it used to. Like even they had the Psycho series, but it was I didn't like it either.
Yeah.
Once they had cell phones and stuff, I was
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It
I didn't
was it
even like. I
wasn't
didn't
for
like
me.
the Van Zant remake with what's his face,
Oh, Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn's. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
shot by shot, frame by frame. Why bother? Because it's in color.
And R.J. Moss is saying you'll
Yeah.
see him
Okay.
as Facebook user, but he's saying the Butcher sounds interesting. Now, I have a question about Butcher because I started watching it. Is it based on a true story?
It's not. I made it look like it's based on a true story. I modeled Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so
Okay.
that's why there's a narrative at the beginning, which kind of makes it along that same line. Talking about tourists and blah 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 and blah blah blah. So I modeled it after a couple of films, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I did a reverse on Hostel.
Okay.
And
Nice.
so,
Hostel was a
yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
movie. Hostel was one of those movies. I heard this is a horror movie. You're watching about like 3/4 of it, and it's like, holy shit. You
Yeah.
know? I love that movie. The sequels, the second one wasn't bad. The third one got a little bit out, but the first one I thought was really creative the way they did it. You
Well,
know,
that's
I think,
why I tried putting a fresh spin on it. And because these are Americans in Hostel, obviously, that go
yeah.
to. So I did, well, how about the Europeans come to Los Angeles and they stay in hostels and cheap hotels and dumpy hotels. And that's why this guy Thaddeus and his henchmen, they go and collect, and then they torture them and, blah, blah, blah,
You know, people got to eat.
blah. You know?
Got to eat.
You gotta eat. And Thaddeus owns restaurants, so he's got mad cow disease, so
Well, I'd say it was the 80s, so if it was now, maybe you're dealing with inflation. I mean, you got to do
yeah.
what you got to do.
Hey, today, you're starving. The prices on everything has gone up too. So
Oh, yeah. I'm driving to Florida from Missouri at the end of the month. I'm really looking forward to that, but I see him going down a little bit. It's like, oh, yeah, come on, just a little more, just a little more.
I get you, man.
I
Oh,
feel
wow.
like I'm in like the stock room or with the New York Stock Exchange and just being like, come on. It's just. But yeah, so The Butcher was really interesting. Like I said, I really
Thanks.
wanted to get through it, and I kept getting interrupted. I had phone calls, I had this, I had that, and but I was really enjoying what I saw of that, and I watched the whole thing of Ravage today,
Okay.
which was I knew there'd be movies like it, and you had your own twist with the Schmovid
Right.
Schmandenic,
Right.
but you had your own twist to it, and it was definitely a character study type movie.
Okay. Thanks.
It was starring Marv.
Mm-hmm.
Was he difficult to work with? Because he looked like he kind of had an attitude and getting
He
that
was
emotion out of him.
he was a bit of a stiff.
He was. He looked like he could be kind of,
I got Marv over there. There's
Oh, there's
Marv.
Marv. Oh,
There's Marv.
he had a nice smile, but he just seemed, really wooden in his portrayal.
Yeah, he's in the new one. He's in Hybrids.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's in Hybrids. But I kind of like Dean now in this one. He has multiple personalities.
Okay.
They're coming through. In Ravage, he just talks to the doll and he gets advice from the doll. But now we see more of like a split. He's got basically 50 different personalities. We don't see all 50 of them. But yeah, so Marv is back. I'm going to be in this one. One of his imaginary friends. So I'm going to be in this one as well.
Oh, here's the lost Leatherface himself, Brett Wagner. He's going to be on Sunday. Yeah,
nice.
He's asking.
Hey,
I got it in the link. You can watch it on Vidmo. I don't know if that helps you out more if it's watched on Vidmo than YouTube, I imagine.
Right.
So you can find it on. You can find it on YouTube, but it is on Vidmo, right? I'm saying it right.
Venmo.
Yeah. So I will send you the.
Vimeo, actually, it's Vimeo.
Okay. See, I screw everything up. Yeah, that's why I was like, when I said your name right the first time when I asked, because I was going through a whole bunch. And then I actually said it right tonight. And I'm not even going to try again. I got your name down the first time.
It's okay. It's all good. Ravage is not available to the public yet, even on Vimeo without a password. The butcher is there. You can watch the butcher.
The butcher. Yeah.
Right. And you can watch it on YouTube as well. So the butcher is available to those people that want to take a look at the butcher.
That's what I meant. Yeah, the butcher is also, but let's help, our fellow indie filmmakers out and watch that Venmo for you.
Yeah.
I got the link in the description for that one.
Thank you.
I know if you're watching on the phone, just watch one time through on there and then maybe go to YouTube after if you have to. But
yeah.
It's better to watch on Venmo with a TV, like a computer or a TV screen than it is.
Right.
Like I was saying with the phone, they need to work on that. You need to tell Venmo, hey, listen, I got people complaining. I got tens of thousands of people wanting to watch it, but they're using their phones and they're getting part of the screen cut off.
I know. I hate people that have today that, like the audience that's out there. I mean, they're watching things on their phones. You
Yeah.
know,
We're on the go.
it's like,
Today's society, we don't have time to stand still. We got to keep moving.
nah, baloney, man. It's like watch it on even on a computer screen. Get off
Yeah.
your phone. Get off your phones.
Oh yeah. Well, believe me, I wish I could, but I'm always on the road, and if I'm
No,
lucky, I get.
not you, but I mean, you know,
Well,
the
I mean, a
public.
lot of. Oh, believe me, I'd rather watch it on a in the theater, on a big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I like to experience things. I did watch most of Butcher, and
Hmm.
I watched that on the screen, and I
Yeah.
watched Ravage on the computer too. But there was times like I was trying to like watch bits and pieces. I had something to do, but I
Right.
had the phone set up so I could, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not terrible on there. Don't get me wrong. It's like
yeah,
a fight. Yeah,
it's
it's a
different.
fight.
I have a 120 screen projection screen, so I also can go, make my private cuts, and then I watch it up on the big screen. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like also my editing bay as well, beside a 35 curve TV for editing. So I watch it how it will be in, say, a theater, and this way I gauge titles, all that kind of stuff. If things are too big, the lettering, blah blah blah, you know. So for me, it's a great tool to watch it up on a big screen.
Yeah, oh, I agree with you. I was so happy when theaters came open, and what was the first movie I saw was A Quiet Place 2 in the theater.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I think
so
mine
yeah,
was
yeah,
the Bond movie.
that was a good one to experience in the theater. I enjoyed watching that one in the theater because I liked it more than the first one.
Okay,
So yeah,
I
so
haven't seen the sequel yet, so
the sequel's great. It had a Ellie and Joel vibe to it. I have
okay,
yeah, I want to say Bill Smith. So I have Bill Smith who's playing Alfred tomorrow on the show,
okay,
and he's actually the townsperson in that movie. So that was pretty cool. And I
nice.
really liked the movie. It was a fun one. But what got you into um to filmmaking or acting? Or did you want to be an actor or a filmmaker first?
I started on the other side of the camera first. I started like 8, 9 years old. The acting schools. I did the commercials in I'm from New York. Commercials, theater, all that kind of stuff. Then as I got a little bit older, I did Broadway. I did Cats on Broadway, 1981. Then I did like films like The Warriors.
Oh,
Uh,
you were in the Warriors, huh?
yeah. One of the baseball Furies in The Warriors.
Hey, just to be in that legendary cult
Come out to
movie.
play. And
Love
then
that movie.
for me it was basically the acting profession was a love-hate relationship for me. I'd get out, come back in, get out, come back in.
I
And then
love it.
I moved out here 30 years ago. I'm Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and Pearl Harbor, and just a whole bunch of things. And then I got into writing first. And then obviously with technology today and everything, you don't need a huge crew to go out there. People are making things on their phones. So it became a lot easier for me. So I did 7 films before The Butcher, and they were basically my film school. I never went to film school. Like Quentin says, I just went to film.
Okay.
And I learned, and I learned how to edit. I learned how to score. I learned how to DP. And I've had crews and mini crews and stuff like that. But you also need to step in. You get 5 in the morning. Your DP can't be there. What do? Okay, I'm going to DP that day. So it's like you got to know everything about the business.
Yeah, I'm very new in what I'm doing and stuff, so I'm taking the easy route and talking to you guys and letting you guys
Right.
explain it all to me.
Right. Yeah.
But so what with indie? Like I ask a lot of people, how great is it now with indie to have the opportunity to do things that maybe you weren't able to do 10 years ago? Like you said, people are filming movies on their phone, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah. I mean, my God, it's um, well, the biggest thing, at least I found out that, and the type of person I am as a director, I don't follow rules. I don't do 180. I don't do this. I don't do that. I don't do a lot of cutaways. I don't like, I do my own thing. I like a lot of oneers, like the big battle scene that at the end of Ravage is a 4 minute. I DP'd.
Yeah.
I DP'd that whole movie. But you know, to be in there, you got 30 extras. You're doing a whole basically gladiator type of fight between two guys, and I'm in there in the mix,
Yeah.
and I'm filming the whole thing, and there's
I saw
no
the picture you were having them come. I
yeah.
kind of saw it. I checked out some of the pictures when I was trying to get
There's
some
no
for
cutaways in that scene. It's strictly
no.
4 minutes, man. And they've got they're fighting. They got shields on. They got weapons and pipes and bats and that whole thing. Not one cutaway from that. And you know, when you're in there, your adrenaline is going. And I like being in there, and having the actors act for me as well. You
Right.
know,
Because you star in The Butcher,
I
but you
star
do
in The
have
Butcher, right?
you do have a surprise cameo in Ravage.
I do.
I was like, oh, that's Michael. I could tell.
In The Butcher, the lady that plays my mom is Maria Olsen.
Okay.
Look her up. She's
Um,
Percy Jackson and thousands
okay.
of horror films. She
Okay.
did the new one, the sequel of I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah. I know I've heard the name. I'm so bad with
I love
names.
Maria. So and so that was pretty cool, man. I mean, that was my one big thing, because it was hard to direct. You're directing yourself. you know
And
the
Steven,
whole movie. I'm directing myself, so it's like, what?
Steven
That's
says you're a pleasure to work with. Now, Steven played was he in Ravage?
Steven is in Ravage. He's also in the second one. We're going to be doing a scene Monday.
Is that Silver? Like, I can't tell. That's not the guy who played Silver, is it?
In Ravage, he was the one that handed the Ravage King leader
Okay.
his weapon to. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
He's got the white
Yeah.
face on, and yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to you before. It was kind of a. I guess
Steven.
now I understand why I had a little Warriors slash vibe to it.
Yeah. So
I found the movie very interesting because it did keep you guessing, and it was filmed. And this is what I love about Indie. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't follow the typical standard of way of filmmaking.
Right.
And I always appreciate that in indie films, where it's not what you quite expect a lot of the times. Because I was like, all right, is this guy going mad? Is this all in his head? Is this
right?
What's going on with this guy? Is he having like what? I got a Castaway vibe with him,
right? Okay.
And, I mean, I was definitely paying attention to. I want to say his name was Dean.
Yeah, Dean Taylor.
The Book of Dean.
The Book of Dean. Yeah, that's the character name. The actor is Jake Sicaro.
Okay. He was very good. He was very good.
Let me tell you about this guy. I'm going to do a little bragging about this guy, because we were friends on Facebook for 4 years. I wrote a script called The Amityville Legend, and it wasn't like any of these schlocky Amityvilles that are coming about now, Amityville, whatever, Shark or whatever. This was like 2 years before. It took place 2 years before the original. So we became friends and blah, blah, blah. And he is my Robert De Niro. I found this guy can freaking act anybody under the bus. He's won 5 awards for Ravage.
It's just too bad Marv kind of like outshined him. Marv
was kind of, Marv is, he's a cool guy, but
yeah, he was. He really carried some scenes for him.
Well, the thing is, with me, I always like the psychological.
Yeah.
I like stalkers, if you will. I don't like one note characters. I try not to have one note characters. To me, that's freaking boring as cat shit.
Well, the role he played was not easy. I mean, it wasn't. I couldn't imagine, like, because he had to be believable in a lot of scenes, and a lot of the scenes were by himself.
Yeah. I
can't imagine anything being harder.
Well, with both things, it's like, with the Butcher, you know, how do you make the serial killer different? We've seen serial killers, you know, kidnap people, cut them up, eat them, torture them. But what's up here, man? So he's got mad cow disease. You know, Thaddeus has mad cow disease. His parents owned a restaurant. They let their cow, no, well, they didn't let their cows, but their cows got mad cow disease. But rather than becoming poor, they cut up the bad tainted meat and fed it to the town people. And then the town people became infected. So I didn't want a one note with Thaddeus Hyatt as in the butcher, because you know we've already seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre-ish kind of stuff with that. You know, so I wanted to hopefully put a little twist, a little spin on that. The same thing with Dean, the character Dean Taylor. He's gone through COVID. And okay, so again, basically it starts out as Contagion and it winds up being an I Am Legend kind of thing. This guy's he thinks he's the only guy left on the planet in the
Yeah.
year
Well,
2032. So if you're not seeing people for 12 to 15 years, you start going a little mad.
yeah, oh, he
Cabin
definitely did.
cabin fever, you know, probably within like 6 months to, you know, cabin fever starts, you know, so you start talking to yourself and you need imaginary people and imaginary whatever. He finds Marv and then, you know, that's his new buddy. And then I'm not going to spoil my own movie, but other things happen in Ravage. And yeah, but I mean, can you imagine if he only was like one note?
Yeah, oh, it
He,
wouldn't work. I mean, he definitely had. There were a lot of scenes where it was like, I mean, you kind of know from watching it that he's, you know, he drinks a lot. I don't want to give too much away. He drinks a lot.
right.
He's alone. Like you said, he thinks the world's gone. I mean, this is what I took as a viewer,
Thank
and
you. And
it's like,
his wife
right,
Brandy and stuff
what's
like that. And
reality, what's fiction,
right,
what's right in his head. Even with Silver, I was, you know, other than there was a
right,
reason I kind of had a feeling with Silver,
right.
certain things. So it was interesting. Like I said, it was a really interesting movie. It was one of those movies where I wasn't like, oh man, this is boring as hell.
Yeah.
You know, I really was interested the whole time. I was like,
I
okay,
can't mention the guy's name, but for he's a really really good friend of mine. But the fisherman,
yeah,
don't say his name if you recognize who it is. But because he's a SAG actor and you know he's a big
yeah,
he's a celebrity. I couldn't give credit to where credit is due, but
right.
he's used to wearing red baseball caps. If that's a hint for some of you guys, um, who the singer is. But yeah, I mean, it was like you know he had a nice little cameo in the movie and stuff like that. But you got the ending of Ravage where it went and we can talk about it after. I don't want to spoil it for the audience, but
Yeah.
you know how it then it was like, oh, okay, this is what it is now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where you go with. Did you always plan a sequel, or was it kind of like I got a good idea to do a sequel with it? Because
I was, yeah,
I don't want to give anything away, but it wasn't like there's well,
good.
well, it's
Ravage
yeah. I'm
Ravage
gonna
Two
let you answer it.
was planned. It was called Ravage Two: The Hunted. I wrote out the script. I start, you know, and then I'm kind of like, I like this other vibe with the hybrids. And so I put away Ravage 2, which wasn't exactly the same characters, but it really wasn't a sequel. They're their own standalone films. I like the fact of the Island of Dr. Moreau kind of thing, the 74 version of it. Um,
Oh, not the
so
newest one with Val Kilmer and
that's a piece of crap.
that
It's
was
a piece.
awful.
That's a piece of shit movie. Yeah, watch the 74 with Burt Lancaster. But anyhow, so what happens is what do you do now that we're still in the middle of the pandemic? So COVID now becomes with the vaccines and it mutated into its own thing in my storyline. So it's now the CV5 virus.
Right.
And the CV5 virus, once it went into humans, it started morphing into a lot of them. They became in newborns, mothers that were pregnant were now
Yeah.
giving birth to half animal, half humans, and vice versa. So I kind of dug that idea of it. because the third one, the title, temporary title is Ravage Nation. But I want to do that kind of like a more Planet of the Apes type of thing now, where it's the whole world is these ravaged creatures, and then the humans are there for them, you know. So that kind of thing, Planet of the Apes, you know. So,
The ideas have kind of grown since Ravage
right,
1 come out. Like what you initially were like, okay, if I do sequels, this is what it would be, has
right.
grown to more and different, but
Mm-hmm.
it gave you a lot of ideas, even, making the movie going, I could do this and this would be great. And
Yeah,
Jake Scazzaro, I hope I'm saying it right, says you're such a great
he's
director.
Dean Taylor. That's Dean Taylor.
Oh, Dean. Oh,
Dean,
there he is.
you got Dean.
You did a fantastic job, man. I mean, other than Marv, you were the second favorite person in the know. You did a fantastic job, Jake. Very well done. And me and Michael were just talking about that. I'm like, it had to be so tough to do the scenes because you pretty much had to do it by yourself. The other guy didn't want to talk too much. You had to
Yeah,
talk more. But you did really, really well, man. Excellent job.
yeah, man. I love Jake. You know, I also with my actors, I because I am the writer, but I'm not God. I like my actors to say the lines naturally as Dean would say it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a problem with my any of my actors in any of my movies, as long as we got the theme going and we knew where we were going. I didn't mind them ad libbing, improvisation. I love that because I want an organic flow. I don't want him to say, "Well, we have to go to the store." Well, that's not how Dean was. It would say something like that. So say it or add something or texture or flavor or something like that. So I like the actors to do that as well. Jeffrey, he's in Ravage. He's one of the creatures that's spewing the stuff out at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's fresh on my mind because I watched it today. I finally got, I kept getting to the 20-minute point, and like I told you, I kept just
Yeah.
exhaustion would hit in at the end of the day, and I was finally sit through the whole thing today. And that's me. If I don't get to finish a movie, I start
Well,
all the way from the beginning. I have to watch it beginning to end, and if I
well,
don't,
I do appreciate that because everybody is busy. You know what I'm saying? Take you 90 minutes, to watch something like that. I truly appreciate you doing that. And
well,
so
for me, it was a 3-hour movie.
thank you.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
Godfather movie. It was
my favorite movie. My favorite movie.
awesome movie.
Yeah,
It's my second favorite mobster movie. I gotta go with Goodfellas. I don't know. I just love that movie so much.
I know. I do too. I do too. But for me, it's still Godfather, Godfather 2, and then say
Well,
Goodfellas.
well, Godfather's more of a slow burn, and Goodfellas is a little.
Well,
It's
yeah.
if you're watching Godfather, you got to be ready for that movie.
Oh, yeah,
And I
yeah.
love Godfather, but Goodfellas is. I just love that. It's just it's one of those movies that I never get tired of.
From the first scene, and it doesn't stop. You know what I'm
Ray
saying?
Liotta was fantastic in that movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The minute the trunk opens up, it's all good.
The whole cast was amazing. Joe Pesci was top
Yeah.
notch. De Niro, just
You
all of
know,
them.
well, that's what it is for me. I mean, I'm happy I found like Jake, Ed Gage, who plays Silver, Alexandra, who plays, Brandy. I I had other people. It started out actually. I'll do it quick. It started being a short during COVID, in the middle of COVID in April, and because I was getting so freaking bored in my house, I had to do something.
Yeah,
And I had a friend of mine that was in the butcher, and we just clashed. Fired. Long story short, hired two other guys. Blah blah blah. Gave them a little producer credit. Everything goes to their head. Blah 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 blah. Whatever.
yeah,
Fired, man. And I finally got Jake and Ed and Alexandra, and they just saved my ass. I went from a short to a full blown feature film, but the point I'm trying to get to is the actor. You know, the director directs, the writer has his vision, but the actor is singing my song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They're singing my
right.
words,
Well,
my
that's why.
movie. They're
Yeah,
making my movie for me as much as a director can put music or sound or special effects or this, song and dance. Without the actor, it falls flat, goes up, goes down, goes sideways.
from like you were saying, Jake is like your
He's
he
my
what he
he's my
did
De
was
Niro.
he's
He's
your
my
De
De
Niro.
Niro. Yeah.
But was there like did the character? I don't want to say change, but you said you let him improvise.
Yeah.
Obviously the story is yours, but did he
Right.
bring a lot to the character that even what you first imagined it'd be? Obviously, since he's your De Niro, made it even better. Was there some things that he did that were like, man, I'm glad you thought of this? Did it add
Oh,
something that was like,
absolutely. I mean, I can only speak for me. Yeah. Like I said, it's not my words. It's not God's gift. You know what I'm saying? It's for the collaboration is for the picture.
well, you were
Eh,
even saying like with the film and idea for sequels kind of changed as you watched it and stuff. I was wondering if
Right.
the actor actually,
You know,
you know what I mean?
if I'll film anything, I'll let you do any take. I'll let you do any try. Um, and then if it's gold, it's gold. I mean, there are some things that worked, some things that didn't work. More things worked than they didn't. So let's put it that way. That's how
Yeah.
great Jake is. What the actor is bringing to the table, does the actor understand the character? Do they understand the nuance? A person, if I'm writing and it's you, okay, I, I got what I got up here. You're bringing your own take on it. You know what I'm saying? As the character. So you can actually make it better for me as the director.
Well, if
Hey,
I'm your actor, you're in big trouble because I can't act.
hey, I didn't think of it that way. I didn't think of it that way, and for me, it's a whole collaboration. A film is an entire collaboration. There's not one God, there's not one, that's the master shot. It's my way. No, whatever is helping us get there from A to B, let's just do it and have a good time doing it. And, bring sauces, bring different flavors to the character. I hate one note actors, you
Yeah,
know? I freaking hate that because then why are we bothering? Why am I spending my hard earned money making a freaking movie? I'm a waiter. That's my day job, okay? I'm financing all my movies on a waiter's 10 years. I work at Maggiano's at the Grove, a little plug for them.
there
But
you go.
yeah, but hey, I did the independent, the Indiegogo, I did the this, the that crap.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's out of your pocket that you're getting this done. Is
it's out
basically
of
what
my
you're doing.
pocket,
It's a
and
it's a labor of love.
it is a labor of love because, like I said, it's like I'm not the guy that's like, "Hey, man, that's my $50,000, and you got to do it my way or the highway." And no, man, chill out. You know what I'm
Well, I think
saying?
Jeffrey puts it the right way. You're a great actors
Oh,
director,
thank you, Jeffrey. I love you.
and I think that goes for a lot of different things. Even sports and football, you hear about
Yeah,
players, coaches, and other ones. Everybody's got their own style, but I mean, but an actor's director can be. I mean, I can imagine. I've never been an actor, but for say Jake or Jeffrey, a
right.
director allowing them to feel like they can be comfortable with the character and try to add what they can instead of. I know there's directors out there who's like, no, this is how it is, and there's nothing you can add to it. It's my way or the highway type deal.
Right.
And
I mean, I worked at another restaurant. I'm not going to plug that or anything like that. But the point of the matter is, I knew a lot of. I knew Quentin. I knew Eli Roth. I knew Robert Rodriguez. These are my heroes. These are the guys that I want to, emulate from. So I listen to tutorials. I listen to these guys, whether it's Marty or Hitchcock or this or whatever. Quentin, I love you. He doesn't do Video Village. I'm like him. If I'm not DPing, I'm next to the DP, and the actor is acting solely for me. I came from the acting world, so I know what an actor has to bring. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm not in Video Village. I'm not 5 blocks away. I'm right there, and you're acting your sweet ass for me, and I love it, and I know the actors love it, and it's a nice little intimate thing, and that's what actors want. You know, your ego, you want that, and I'm giving you the audience, man. You're me. I'm the audience, and I love it that way. I just whatever the actors can do, I'm there for the actor.
Do you think starting from the bottom? Well, I'll give Devin Sisk. He's at Napa. So
Devin, what's up, Devin?
awesome work, brother. He's telling you.
Yeah.
How much does it mean? Like you said, some people have jumped in, like Quentin. Like you use Quentin as an example.
Yeah, I mean, to me,
And
he's
he
a
kind
god.
of jumped in, and he never. But you've been doing this so long, and
Right.
you said you've been doing it since a kid, and everything you've done, you've had to work for to get these movies done. You've had to work for. You didn't
Yeah.
just happen to get that golden ticket and say this. Do whatever you want. You've had to work
Oh
for it.
yeah.
Does
And
that make? Do you feel that's just made you more enjoy it more or less in a sense?
I love it more because it's the hard struggle. You know what I'm saying? It's not just handed. Nobody gave me $1 million. Nobody gave me $20 million. I love it. I love independent. I love the independent world. You know, nothing wrong. Hey, Blumhouse, I'm here. Jason Blum, hire me. But no, seriously. I'm working for it. No matter what it is, you're earning something. You're working. It's not handed to me.
You appreciate more when that
You
opportunity comes.
right. You appreciate it more.
Yeah, you'll appreciate it and not take it for granted. And
Yeah, I mean,
no
this
problem.
this
It just
this.
happened overnight, and my
Yeah,
ego's out of control.
yeah. I mean, the 7 films, like I said, that I did before The Butcher, good, bad, or indifferent, to me were not ready to go to festivals. You got one shot, basically, to get your card out there because there's thousands of people. And so for me, The Butcher was right. I felt it. It was right. I always do test screenings with all my films for different audiences. Um, it was the right time at the right place to do The Butcher. It was in Vegas at Shock Fest, and so was Ravage. But 60 awards, dude. I mean, if
That's
that doesn't
impressive.
if that doesn't make you humble, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
humble, but also proud. I mean,
I'm always, even if I don't get into a festival, depending on what the festival is, even if it's a big one, it's um it's nothing personal. They might have 2 or 3 films similar to mine. They went with whatever they thought was the best thing. I mean, festivals is a whole different animal. A lot of people don't realize what film festivals are, but you're starting to get a rhythm, and people are starting to get your name out there. So again, I'm with Ravage, and of course, the ones I've won in before, I'm going to repeat sending them my work, and they don't have to love it because they voted for the first time as award winner, but they did. So I must be doing something right.
well, it's what you do. You know, I enjoyed Ravage. Like I said, I want to finish The Butcher, but I just didn't have time because I had to get on and do this interview with you.
No, 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 I get it. I
But
get it.
you have your own take on things, and what inspired you? Like, was there something that just said, what gave you the idea to write The Butcher? Like, was it like you were thinking about a movie and be like, oh, you know what, this gives me an idea, like something that inspired you, not ripped it off? Because like I'm a horror fan, and I love slashers. So if I wrote a slasher,
Right,
obviously something's gonna inspire me, but I also would want to do my own take. And you even kind of mentioned TCM with The Butcher.
right, yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Do you remember the moment that you said, I'm writing this movie called The Butcher"? And what made you want to write it?
I wanted to write it. Two films that I mentioned, that Texas Chainsaw and Hostel. Then okay, so you like that. Um, Now where do you go? Let's have an original story. Let's model yourself a little bit after some of my Halloween is in there. Kill Bill is in there. There's the yellow jacket that she wore with the sword is in The Butcher. It's up on a wall. This Egyptian guy is being tortured with a carving knife. So
Yep.
that's in the background. I mean, there are little Easter eggs like
Even in
that.
Ravage, I noticed you did that. Like I pointed out a
Yeah,
few things. You're like, yep,
yeah,
yep,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, um, the food critic is Michael Meyer.
Right.
It's little nuances like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm a nerd. I'm a big horror nerd. I'm a big film nerd. What's different? What's something the audience is going to like? We've seen this 30 times. We've seen this 30 times. I, just my taste. I just wanted something to bring. I had something to say. It When you're doing something about mad cow, mental illness, things like that. I'm attracted to the serial killer. What's their psyche? What are they about? Why did
Watching the
they
picture,
do?
I wouldn't believe that. I wouldn't believe that.
But you don't want to do the stereotypical. Oh,
No.
the mom was a whore, or
Yeah.
the dad beat him, or whatever. We saw that. We've seen that. Thaddeus's parents, they owned a farm in Montana. They didn't beat him. Nobody cheated on anybody. So that's fresh. Mad Cow, that's fresh. And then you do little things here and there, and you try not to go down that. For me, I try not to go down that road of we saw this, we saw this, we saw this, or if we saw it, how do we make it better?
Yeah.
When I first did The Butcher, 2 seconds. When I did The Butcher, I watched it back. I said, "My God, this is boring as cat shit." To be honest with you, the kills did not thrill me. The story thrilled me. The kills did not thrill me. What happened was I had a problem with my hard drive. I lost certain parts of the movie. Although I had my footage in the final cut, these are what you're filming on. I saved those, but then certain key scenes I took out because I was trying to save space to continue to film more. So I had to go in there again, and the torture scenes that are in there were redone. And to me, I said, yes, that's what I was missing. I had kill scenes, but they were okay kill scenes. So
So it
okay,
was almost a blessing in disguise.
it's a blessing in the skies. Yeah, that kind of thing. The
Did you
phoenix
realize
rose from
at the
the
time
ashes.
you wanted to reshoot them, but you were like, I already got them, I already did it, but now you had to do it? Or was it
I
something that I got it, it's done, you didn't realize you couldn't pinpoint what you didn't like overall, and then when you were able to redo it, you found what you really.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, look, either if you're going to do something like that, and they kidnap and they torture people, if it's not hostile-ish, then what's your fucking point?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, all right, we gotta make them violent. We need violent kills in this movie. And that's what it was, man. And then it was like, okay, now my movie is singing for me. Now I'm happy. The movie was a nice drama with okay kill scenes. Now you have a great storyline and fantastic kill scenes, and that's what made the difference for me. And I'm being honest. It was like I'm like, okay, this is nice.
Well,
You
it's got to
know,
make a big
it's
difference when
gonna
you.
it's gonna make a mark on somebody. I'm a nobody with a no name. Nobody is like Quentin Tarantino presents an Eli Roth production. You know, nobody's doing that for me. So I got to shock people in a sense. I got to make people stop. I got to make people say, what the fuck is going on here? You know, because I've got no name. So, you know, if they walk away from it as a, hey, man, that guy did a great thing, or whatever, that kills, and they're talking about it, that's, you know, that's rock and roll for me, you know, and that helps me as a person, a director, and a writer. So, sorry, I don't mean the big speech, but.
Oh no, you're fine, man. I was getting the Ravage trailer pulled up. I wish that the Butcher one. You guys want to see the Ravage trailer? Let's I say we
let's watch the Ravage trailer.
In 2019, a plague was brought upon us. It started overseas in Wuhan, China. Slowly, quietly at first. No one in the United States paid much attention to it. Then a few cases popped up here and there. Later, we were to find out our president knew all too real the dangers that were to engulf us all.
My name is Dean Taylor. I am immune. I will be at the LA River every day at noon. I am a survivor.
My name is Dean Taylor. The year is 2032. I am the last human alive. I'm telling you this because this is the only story that's left to tell. How's it going, Marv? Still me and you, but no boy named Sue, huh? Let me ask you a question, buddy. Do you ever hear growling noises outside the door at night? No, you haven't. I didn't think so.
On my advice, don't ever point a gun at me.
What are you doing?
Getting my dinner. You must have just had a fight with a ketchup bottle.
There's no dinner here.
Great trailer, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't watched it in a while, but yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Nice.
Patrick here from Half Cheetah Will View.
Hey, Patrick, my buddy Patrick got a little plug on that. Patrick from Half Cheetah Will View. Well, I switched screens and it's on autoplay, so.
Oh.
But what was I gonna say? That was there was one scene in it. Now, were you a Walking Dead fan? Because there's the one scene where he's calling on the radio. It kind of gave me that Rick when he's calling for Morgan, letting him know he's there and he was going to call him each day at the same time. Or even a Dawn of the Dead when they were on the rooftop.
It's I Am Legend.
Oh, I Am Legend. Okay.
I'll be at the South Street Seaport at noon. Yeah. It's I Am Legend. I've
All
never
right, because a few
sorry,
of them.
I've never
done
seen
that.
The Walking Dead, but sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Because there was a scene kind of like that where he'd do that on
Okay. Yeah.
walkie-talkie, and I know in I'm Legend, and also in
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, like I said, it's Contagion. I must have watched Contagion. I kid you not, over 100 times.
Wow.
Over 100 times, I had to watch Contagion. I wanted that rhythm at the beginning. You know, the Gwyneth Paltrow is at the airport, so I got this guy in an Italian restaurant, and he's coughing, and he's talking to his wife, and then you touch a doorknob, then you do this, and you touch that, the elevator, and then the next person, the waitress, she goes into the elevator, and then everybody, so it was that Contagion, that rhythm at the beginning, and then mentioning COVID, and the president at the time, Mr. Trump, and then it became I became I Am Legend. I am fessing that up. It's strictly I Am Legend, but with a twist, obviously. I'm not plagiarizing anything, but it's I Am Legend E. It's Wasteland. It's also based. The characters at the fight scene was from Fury Road.
Okay, yeah, great movie. Brad
yeah.
Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, and Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Fury Road, Mad Max. Yeah, the Mad
Great
Max.
movie, yeah. Oh, Fury Road. I'm sorry, Tom Hardy. I was thinking of the other one that they were all the war movie. Yeah, Fury Road.
Fury Road.
I definitely got the Mad Max vibe to it.
Of course, the Ravage King. I had him in the white makeup and his body. I wanted that white with the dark black circles. That's how the war boys are in Fury Road.
Yeah, I was thinking of Fury.
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah. No, but Fury.
Yeah, but I at least Tom Hardy was in both. Yeah. So yeah, Fury Road. I definitely got. I got it though. I mean, I did get a lot of Mad Max vibe, the post-apocalypse and survival, and like with I want to get his name and give him another shout out. But with Jake, definitely, he did a fantastic job as Dean Morgan, not Dean Morgan, Dean
Taylor.
It was very interesting character study, and you saw that in the trailer. A lot of his chops right there, because he was alone doing these scenes, and I can't imagine anything being harder for an actor than getting into the emotions he had to kind of go through, because he had highs and he had lows, and a lot of lows. But it wasn't just I'm playing this one character like that. There was a lot of
we filmed at the LA River too, man. It was like. We filmed at the LA River with the new one. We're actually filming in Escondido Falls in the mountains. But the first one was Ravage. Hollywood. We filmed obviously Hollywood, Beverly Hills. 90% was the LA River. And things like that. So that was pretty dope. Nobody bothering us or over there or anything like that. It was a lot of fun. I mean. I got to have a lot of fun making the movie. That's why I said I gotta work with good people. Again, it all boils down to the actor for me. And that's it. They're bringing my vision to life for me.
When you wrote the character of Dean Taylor, did you have Jake in mind for it the whole time? Like, did you write the character around him? Did you know him before that, or you wrote the character and he just happened to fill the role, and he was like,
he just happened to fill the role, man. Like I said, I had two other actors that I filmed. So when it started as a short, I had one actor. It was going to be 30 minutes, and it was like almost 80% done. And I started from scratch. And then I got these two other guys, one to play Silva, one to play Dean. And truly, to this day, dude, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if they wanted more. I don't know if it was money, if it was ego. Again, 65% done. Fired them.
Yeah.
I went to in my brain, Jake was going to be an Amityville legend in a big part. And so I reached out to him. We knew each other on Facebook. And, and then with Ed as well, I mean, I put ads in backstage and things like that. I usually go to my friends first. If they can do it, just because you're my friend, I'm not just going to put you in the movie. You got to act, Um, and then everything just fell into the way it was supposed to be. It just naturally flowed. Nobody had any egos. We didn't have problems. We didn't have fights. Everybody was there, you know. Um, Everybody's paid. My crew is paid. My makeup people, so I pay everybody. A lot of independent people don't. I just want to throw it out there that, I pay my people. Having said that, again, everybody wanted to be in the film. We sat, we talked. How about we try this, Michael? How about we try that? How about we do this? Yeah, man, let's do it. Again, it's a collective effort. So I mean, I'm chill as a director. I mean, I'm because I came from the other side, so I know where the actor is going. My only problem, like I said, you're not going to click with everybody. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. You think it wasn't meant for you to be in my movie. Let's move on. It's not like, like I said, I'm not a screaming director like we know James Cameron, Michael Bay, all those kind of guys. Hey, man, it's an independent movie. It's chill. Let's just do it. We're here for everybody. I'm not here to waste time. I think the most I did on a particular scene was about 7 takes. There's a marriage proposal scene that was there, but it wasn't because of the actors. Certain technical difficulties, the acting, so we did it like in 3 takes. I used the first take. I'm that kind. Let's go. Let's film it. Let's roll. I'm not here for. You got one in the can. You do a backup. Just in case if something happens, a glitch in the matrix system or whatever, the lighting was bad, the tree, this, the whatever. But, let's go. Let's just go. And I film, I edit, I give myself an assembly and I edit. I put the music in there, whether it's temporary or not. I'm editing as I go and, and then give it a complete polish at the end. So.
I mean, here's a good question for you is, I mean, I can only imagine how stressful it was losing your cast in its own way.
Yeah.
And my question is, I mean, I'm sure there was a period, like, especially at first, you were like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I mean, I'd imagine. But did it overall motivate you to make it even better and do it even better? Did it add drive to it? Like, I could see bring it down. Did it make you stand up harder,
It made me stand up harder, but that night that I fired these 2 individuals, I was already casting.
Yeah.
I'm knocking on my friend's Facebook, door. Hey man, I got this. I'm sending the script out. So it's like you're not gonna you can kick me in the teeth, but then that's it. Boom. The fly's off my shoulder. Boom. I'm moving on.
Minor setback, huh? And you just kept driving forward.
And I guess maybe that was good in a sense because it kind of like made me step up my game a little bit more.
Yeah. But you had a feeling, though. You had a feeling before it all happened anyway. You said that vibe where, I better be prepared
because, they sat me down and they were supposed to be doing a scene that night. And then I'm like, well, we don't feel that he would be this. We don't feel that he would have the gun here. We don't feel that this. I'm like, what the fuck? And then, but you've had the script. We were shooting for months ahead of time for this particular scene. Now, the both of you guys apparently got together, unbeknownst to me, and had your little powwow meeting and came in. And I'm like, really?
So you feel like they were kind of working together kind
For
of.
what? Yeah, they were working together, obviously, for whatever goal it was.
Yeah, that sucks.
And
Man.
I'm the guy that's like, okay, guys, thank you very much. Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah,
And that's exactly the way it went down. They went out to the cars that were parked in the street. 5 minutes later, they came back knocking on my door.
yeah.
Can we talk? Can we talk about it? Fuck you. Can we talk about it? Get the fuck out of my
over.
get out of my house. That's how we talked about it. And
Yeah,
you know,
I'm like that too. You can only be nice so long before you basically, I consider myself a nice guy, but there's a few times I've had to tell people to go fuck off,
but
go
no rhyme, no reason, no. Hey, Michael, let's sit down as a collect. No, we think it should be this way. It's got to be that way. I'm like
trying to tell you how to do your film. You can't.
Number
do that.
one, is it your money? That's number one.
Yeah.
Is it? Then if you're going to give me money, then yeah, maybe you got a little say in the project.
Yeah.
Otherwise, shut up.
Yeah. Your suggestions noted, but not taken.
Yeah, man. It's like, come on, man. What are you guys doing, man?
I feel you.
You're gonna hold me hostage? Get the fuck out of here. Then my New York comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're showing those East Coast roots. Jeffrey was just saying.
Yeah, man. It's like I'm from New York, man. It's like, come on. It's
yeah,
like,
I'm an East Coast guy too, so I get it.
I can smell them a mile away.
Yeah, you can smell the bullshit a mile away.
It's like, okay, I just let them talk, and I'm sitting in my office, and they're both like, blah, 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 and I'm like,
I get it, man.
I got you, man. I got you months ago, man.
Yeah.
I got your
the gut feeling kicks in, you just know.
I got your vibe. I got your bullshit. I'm older than you, number one. You know what I'm saying? These guys were like in their mid-20s. I've seen the bullshit 1,000 times, so I know when it's coming.
You saw the shitstorm coming through. You saw the shitstorm just coming. I got you.
It's like, come on. So but other than that, I'm an easy guy. Just don't try to fuck me over, man.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm the same way. I think I'm one of the Devo's here. He's my son. He'll tell you. I'm a nice guy, but if I feel something's wrong, I'm the type of guy who's going to tell you, exactly what's on my mind. Sometimes I wish I'd been a little more, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it a lot.
Like I said, had they sat me down, had they been men instead of boys, had they been professional, all that kind of thing, if they took a different route, instead of just coming up on the stage and slapping me across the face, and I had to throw that in there. But
there's a line that when you cross, it's like, and you finally had enough, you just forget it. And Coast guy, I get it. It's like, you're a forgiving, good person, but once you cross that line, forget it. And you try to be patient, and you feel like, I know you're probably like me, you're more than patient, but once the line's totally crossed, it ain't no coming back from it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened with my first actor. He was in all of my movies. He had started 3 of them, 3 lead parts, and then a couple of little parts here and there, man. And this guy had like ADD problems, and he was like manic depressive, and I knew this for years. But I'll be goddamn, if I have to walk around eggshells.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you want it. It's your project. You wrote it. You're funding it, like you said. If anything, they're your employees in a sense.
But then he also
try not to treat them like that, but ultimately, that's exactly what they are. You're paying them.
Yeah.
But he's saying if you like craft beer, look up Single Cut Brewery.
Okay.
I think
cool.
Mike's out in California. Welcome, Rachel Kelly.
And then he made. Oh, Rachel, what's up, Rachel? She's a friend of Jake's.
Awesome. I'm so glad to see the people here.
Yeah, but no, going back a little bit. But this particular actor, what he did was he made fun of the actress that I had hired. She was a little overset Latina kind of girl, and she was very nice. And then he comes to me and he's on the phone and he's like, is anybody going to think that we're really a couple together?
Oh,
And I'm like, I'm sorry, say that to me again. Say what? You know what? Because you're a good looking guy, so the public is not going to buy that this girl is a little bit on the like. Have you seen America? Have you seen the women out there? Not everybody is
oh,
a size 2 or a size 0.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of course they're going to believe you're actors.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that like threw
That
me.
just shows that he's not an actor. I mean, I'm not an actor, and even I know that's just acceptable actor behavior. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. So I was like, dude, if you did this on a Spielberg set, if you did this on anybody's set, you'd
yeah,
be fired too.
yeah.
I was
Oh,
like, that
exactly.
was the
Well,
straw that broke the camel's back.
there's a
I was like,
there's a code of
what?
conduct that you can't cross, especially as an actor. That's no, he is from the East Coast, but he lives in California. I don't know how long you been in California for. I'm
Oh my
guessing.
God! I came out here 31 years ago.
Yeah.
I came out here in 1990.
Yeah, I've been like my accent still kicks in, but it's not nearly as strong as it used to be.
When I'm
Because
tired,
I lived in Florida for a
yeah,
long time, and then now I live in Missouri. So I've tried to lose
I'm more
it.
relaxed now.
Yeah,
So talking to you, so
yeah,
I'm sure it's coming out a lot.
yeah.
But when I'm tired, when I'm, it's just,
Oh, it kicks in. Oh, trust
it,
me, I know. Or if I go visit friends in Massachusetts, I come back. Hey, how you doing there? You know.
I hear. Well, and it's funny, the guy that Damien Coletti, the guy that did the voiceover narration in The Butcher and also in Ravage, he's from Boston.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice. I lived in.
he
I mean, I grew up in Boston, and
yeah, he's a
I was born.
great
I was
actor.
born in
So,
Jersey. I grew up. I lived a few years in upstate New York,
oh, okay,
and then yeah, Clinton by
oh,
Utica.
nice.
Until I was about 8 or 9, and then I moved to Massachusetts, and I lived there until I was. My folks moved to Florida when I was about 20, 21.
Okay,
So I started going back and forth to Florida because I was a landscaper in Massachusetts, and
yeah,
wintertime I'd go to work half the time, so I'd go to Florida. And then I just wound up living in Florida. And I lived there in my 20s. I'm
right,
almost 46. So I have not lived in Massachusetts
right.
or the East Coast. I mean, other than Florida, I don't consider the East Coast. It's the East Coast, but
But
you know what I
South,
mean.
the East Coast South.
It's very different East Coast. There's no, there's people from the East Coast. There's people from everywhere. Yeah,
Right,
from in Florida. I mean, East Coast, Massachusetts, New York, everywhere.
right.
It's
I,
definitely a
I
melting
was
pot
born
of
in Europe. I
everything.
was born in Greece.
Okay.
I was adopted. I lived like in an orphanage for 2 years. I was adopted when I was 2, and then my adoptive family, who were also Greek, but they lived in New York. I lived in Brooklyn for like a minute, and then I lived in Howard Beach, John
Oh,
Gotti territory.
yeah.
So yeah, so like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And then like I said, 1990, I came out here and had to get used to California. I mean, it's not New York,
Yeah. My
you
sister's
know.
out in California.
Yeah.
My younger sister lives out there, and I've never been to California. She asked me to go, but I'm too lazy to go all the way over there. And then I'm going to Florida, so I'm making her fly all the way from California to come over to Florida. But
Yeah.
I'm doing actually Camp Crystal Cabin 6, who's here, is coming.
Hey.
He does the events with me a lot. I think every event I've done, Camp
Oh,
Crystal Cabin 6 has been there. He makes incredible Jason Hawks.
oh,
But
nice. Okay. Yeah.
Rachel Kelly's saying she's so excited for the Ravage series.
Yeah. What I did was I took a couple of scenes, if you will, and made them into like little shorts, 5-minute, 20-minute little shorts, and based on characters from the movies. And then I sent those just to test them to festivals. They're winning. So it's like that's what she means by the Ravage series.
I could see it being after watching it because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
No, yeah.
But I could see it being, obviously it can revolve around characters.
Right.
It doesn't have to be. It could be like you was kind of saying. It could be sequels, but it doesn't have to be.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I got it. like I said, I try to avoid spoilers because I think people should see it because it's a really interesting film and it's got a lot. And that's what I love about the indie projects is you see so many different ones, but it's not a remake or the typical, okay, we're going to do this sequel for, Marvel. And some of them I enjoy, don't get me wrong, but I think people are tired of the Hollywood copy and paste stuff. And indie's something that's growing in its own way. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy some remakes. I do. I enjoy all films, but I do think there's a thing where Hollywood gets stuck in this trend where they don't give new ideas a fresh shot to see if it works. And then again, I get it from also a fan, an overall customer thing,
right?
The people that are going to buy tickets. So
they have a name. They have a name they have a name brand that they're used to. Say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one that was on Netflix. So there would be a following. So I mean, but that's all we have. We have Marvel, we have comics, we have, for every coda, there's 3,000 action films, Marvel films, and it's just like, it's the same thing. I mean, I love all type of film. I try to look for the original and tell me something, a story that's fresh. Even like with fan films, I mean, I get them. There's a few good fan films. That they do the Halloween fan films or Friday the 13th. I get it. A lot
that's
of them are really.
Film, but indie's different to me. Indie and fan film.
Indie's different, yeah.
Indie fan film, because indie to me is like an original story, and fan film is fan film. And I enjoy the fan films, especially like since Friday 13th, you haven't gotten a new movie in years. I love seeing it. So I get it. I get it from all over, and I enjoy it from all over. Being a film guy, like somebody who loves horror, I'll take all of it I can get. Some are better than others. Some are really, really good. Like, wow. So that's what makes it fun, and they're done by the fans. But with indie, it gives creators a chance that wouldn't, because it's so hard. I get it from Hollywood standpoint. They're investing millions and millions and millions of dollars to take a chance on it is a gamble, because a lot of fans don't go and do that. Even like Halloween 2018, I love that movie, but even after this trilogy, there's Halloween. There's gonna be another film movie, which,
look what that started though. Look what that trend has started. Now, which I love. Halloween's my, don't say anything bad about Halloween in front of me.
Oh well, I don't really.
No, I don't mean you.
I don't like the film too much.
but to jumpstart it fresh, we took it 40 years later. We cut out the stuff in the middle. Texas Chainsaw Massacre copied the same thing. You brought the character back 40 years later. The actress is dead. But you brought the character 40 or 50 years later. So you're copying that now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the new get to. The Exorcist, that David Gordon Green and company, three films. But 40 years later, and you're bringing back Ellen Bernstein.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's got to say to it. I mean, her daughter was possessed, but she's not like she's a psychologist or anything, or a priest or something. You know what I'm saying? It'd be interesting to see what she's got to do with, bringing her in. But I love all kinds of film, but it's like.
Sorry about that. My cold kicked in. I wasn't ignoring you. I didn't want to like sneezing on the camera.
I'm coughing over here, so.
Well, I've done good so far because I told you my allergies have been killing me all day. I was like, I'm looking forward. I look forward to every interview. I look forward to every interview, and then it's like, oh my god! But
I get it, trust me.
But you know what? You get that second wind. And I knew I would. I took one of those 5-hour energies. I knew that would get me up.
I'm a diet soda kind of guy, so it's like I don't.
Yeah, I got the Monster Energy drink if they want to sponsor me.
Yeah. But also, what my game plan is. Let me tell you a little bit of what I'm trying to do as well. For me, that if my films can be seen, and you like it, and you like the story, okay, what can you imagine what I can do if I had the bigger budget? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's with a lot of people.
Because my movies, because my movies are low budget. A lot of movies are low budget, but they're not schlocky.
No,
they don't look cheap. I love practical effects. You know, with the cut, the blood, and all. I fucking hate CGI. It's with horror. I mean, you know, but it's like, okay, can these people, can this studio, can Lionsgate, can Blumhouse, can this, can that? Do you like my story? Do you think it's fresh enough that, okay, maybe you can give me the $5 million, then I can show you what I can really do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
instead of 50,000 or 10,000 or 50,000, you know, none of my movies are like, you know, 100,000. They're all below that. But let me show you what I can. Let me show you what I can do. You know,
I've dealt with a lot of people
give me a chance.
There is I think there's a lot of talent like yourself in the indie community. Here's one now, Steve Merlo, incredibly talented filmmaker.
Hey,
I've met so many really, really great talents in the indie community that have great ideas, great talent that, you know, I'd love to see. And that's why I'm such a big supporter of indie, is because, you know, it's a way the fans can get this to happen with, you know, getting more new projects, getting more films, whether they're, you know, creative originals like yourself. Like you said, you're like, all right, I'm going to write this film. I'm inspired by these movies, but I want it to be unique in its own way. I want it to be original in its own way. And I think Rachel Kelly, she said she was in Clearwater. I don't want to, but if you're in Clearwater, come to Spookala, Florida. I'll be there. And May 13th through 15th. I got to give a plug. And also I'll be at Phantasm August. Oh my God. Phantasm's in August in Orlando. It's going to be an awesome event. I want to say 19th to the 21st. But I have a cold. I was lucky to remember one date that's a month away. But
I'm glad you still did this for me. So I appreciate being on your
it's
show.
Amazing. I'd love to see a lot of people in the indie community get the funding that they need. And I think a lot of it is the respect for the indie community, I think, has grown so much throughout the years, especially in the recent years when everything shut down.
Yeah,
I think that's given a new opportunity to guys like you, that people were just looking for something. There was no movie theater experience. There was nothing coming out for 2 years. I think you froze or I froze. You froze. If you did, just go ahead and back out and come back in. Back out and come back in, and you'll be fine. It's StreamYards for you. But welcome, unique footage because of exactly, Rachel, exactly.
I'm percent too, just to let you know, on my phone. So let me go out, and I'll come back in real quick.
Sounds good, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good now. But
cool.
Steve.
Yeah, I got it now. Yeah.
Steve went all the way from Canada to Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, Coda, Sundance, you know, low budget, Best Picture. I mean, come on, man. That's indie. Yeah. Jesus, it just won Best Picture.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
come on, people. Take a risk because you're not giving me $50 million. What I can do shit for you for $1 million. You know, like I'm sure anybody can. You know,
well, Hollywood copies and pastes a lot. Copy and paste. This is the formula at work. Even in horror, and I love a lot of these films. But all right, you got the Conjuring series. You got you know, everything. It's a trend. Just like when Scream came out, it was I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legends, and I love all those films. But they do it, and it's a copy and paste until it gets burned out and gets dry. And then, you know, 80s, I love 80s horror and slashers, but oh my god, how many rip-off Jasons were there? How many rip-off Myers?
Yeah, Halloween. You know, it was like, yeah.
Let's copy and paste it until people get sick of it and do it again.
And they still keep doing it.
Yeah, they're kind of doing it again in a sense, but
40, 50 years later, it's still the same. You know, I'm sorry.
Well, it's like a trend, and then they burn out the trend. Trends might last a little longer if they just spread it out a little bit instead of like, oh, Scream worked. All right.
I know you're getting a lot of flack for this, but I'm sorry. If you're not really going after Sidney Prescott, what the fuck is she in the movie for? I mean, I know you're passing the torch to the next generation, but damn.
There was a new indie fan film called Scream Legacy out there. If you do like the Scream series at all, and at least it gave a unique twist to it. You know, its own creative twist, and that's one of the things I do enjoy about the fan films.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of them. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, there's some good ones. Like I've watched Haddonfield Butcher, which is really, really good. Halloween H2O sequel. Even though H2O is not my favorite in the series, Resurrection I don't even talk about.
I don't even remember that movie.
Sequel. Yeah. But there's some, but then again, there's a lot of them. It's hard, and I get that with indie. It's hard to pick out the good ones because I've seen some that are not so good. You know, there's a lot of Michael Myers coming out. There's a lot of Jason.
Did you see the new Texas? Did you see the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
It was a good slasher, terrible Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
I was screaming and yelling at my television. The chainsaw is in the wall? Are you fucking kidding me? That's only one thing. I mean,
I went in expecting the worst, and I didn't like it as a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. But as a fun slasher that I didn't have to even go to the theater for, I gave it.
Right, well then call it something else. Call it, you know, whatever from Austin, Texas, whatever. Yeah. But this is supposed to be a direct 50-year later sequel. I like the fact that the first one was dark. It was gritty. You can smell the meat, the cannibalism. This was shot and it was pretty. And he pops out of the daisies, like tiptoe through the tulips. Give me a fucking break. And then your chainsaw for 50 years is inside the goddamn walls. And it still operates.
My hardest thing was he had to be, 70, 80 years old?
Well, Michael Myers is supposed
to be wrong, like, bold. Yeah, but at least Myers is 60s.
Yeah, you know.
60-year-olds still do it, but, you know, I'm talking 70s with old Leatherface there. He was eating his vitamins and, you know.
But there was a reason. There was the family. It was, you know, they were also cannibals, which they didn't show in this one.
Yeah.
Nobody was eating anybody.
Well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was about, you know, Leatherface is, you know, the main, you know, everybody's favorite, but there was so many more characters in every Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Especially the first one. I mean, there were so many different characters that Leatherface was just a part of it.
Right.
In my opinion, there was the people in the town, there was the family.
Right.
Everybody there was important.
Two, 3, and 4 suck for me. Okay. Yeah, I did like the remake.
The remake was very good. Remake was the remake is my second favorite in the series. I don't hate 2. I mean, I even got the radio station coming to Spookala. My friend Vinny made it, but it's definitely a different movie. You know, it sounds Dennis Hopper was the worst part of the movie. The rest of the movie, I actually kind of enjoyed certain dark themes to it.
It was too campy.
Yeah.
It was too fun. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There were things I liked in that movie. It was disturbing in its own way, but it wasn't at the same level. But you know, everybody's got different taste. I agree with you on some of the sequels. It got a little You know, I try to find things I like in every movie, no matter what, whether I really like it or not. There's certain movies like Halloween Resurrection, I just can't find anything I like, but some people can.
The beginning with Jamie Lee in it, that moment, So the storyline with that,
Yeah.
you know, and then
It
the
was just a
serial
waste
killer
of
and
a
the guy.
film. It was a waste of a
That,
film. It was a cash grab.
after she died, you know, then it was, you know, Tara Banks, and then the other guy kung fuing Michael Myers, and you know, the rapper,
Yeah.
whatever his name. Yeah, it was just,
Coolio.
it just
Was
went.
not Coolio. Was it Coolio? I forget. I don't even. I
No,
turn it off every time I see it. I
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes. I'm sorry. Yeah, Busta Rhymes. And you know what? I don't dislike Busta. I just hated the whole theme and the watch it on the computer and Michael Myers dying by electrocution of nuggets, you know, getting them in the nuts. And I don't know. It was just it made a joke out of Michael Myers, and I couldn't take it, you know.
Yeah, no.
It just and I'm honestly not. A lot of people love H2O. I think a lot of it's just because of Laurie Strode being back, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I didn't love
I did
that
like.
one. I didn't like Michael Myers in the film. I didn't
Yeah.
like him. You know, I just didn't feel like a Michael Myers movie, and that's why I don't know. I even like 5 and 6, but I don't like the story. But there's things I love about the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
those were great.
I like the story on 6. I know Daniel, that did the directing, but so I'm not here to trash his directing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like it at all. I mean, the storyline was good. It just, for me, as a horror sequel, I saw the uncut version, the director's cut or whatever, the producer's cut or whatever it was.
I didn't like the producer.
I mean, 4 was okay. 5, they had the little girl with no voice. And,
Yeah.
But what it was like 4. Okay, she's upstairs. She kills her mother.
Yeah.
No mention of it in the next one.
No, well, they mention it, but they mention they're gone and that she stopped. My whole thing was my favorite in the series. Like my favorite timeline, and I do love A Season of the Witch in its own way because I thought it was a great sci-fi horror. But 1, 2, and 4 are my favorite 3 movies. Like that timeline right there, you could end it right there. And as far as story goes, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
And 4 wasn't.
I do love the 2018. I did like Halloween.
Oh, I love that, but I'm saying that's my favorite timeline.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to hang out with James Jude Courtney at Phantasm. We had a beer. You know, I ran into him a few times. Really cool dude. Came down, signed half of my stuff, signed all that stuff. Didn't charge me a nickel.
Oh wow!
It's so cool. Oh, Jake, no problem, man. Thank you. You did a fantastic job. You got a lot of talent, man. Really talented.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks. I miss you, Busta Rhymes. Cool, man. Yeah. So I can talk film. Right beside horror, I can talk film all day long.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm a movie nerd. But
I love all genres. I just happen to be revolved around horror, and it's horror is my passion. But I love all different movies. I mean, we talked Godfather and Goodfellas. I love talking about that. I love good comedies. A good drama is great. I love
I'm not a comedy. I'm not a comedy guy. I'm not a rom-com guy. I'm not a for me, I think the best timeline for film was the 70s.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
French Connection, Apocalypse Now. You know that vibe. These guys started, and they were the the Coppolas, the Lucas with a lot of people don't know THX 1138. His first movie. You had De Palma. I mean, my God, De Palma. I mean, Blowout, Carrie, Scarface, Carlito's Way. I mean, let's just go on.
Well, Pacino is a legend. Dog Day Afternoon.
These guys, though, Marty, they were a club. They were a clique. Yeah. And these guys all went. Some of them went to the same film school. I mean, the 70s had the best movies. My God, I mean,
because they had the technology hit to a solid point with practical effects, where I think in the storytelling was mainly what it was about.
It was fresh.
And then look at Star Wars with 70s, and I mean what they did. I still say Star Wars practical effects is so much better than any CGI. You give me Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, I still put that as like my all-time favorite practical effects of all that it's ever been done with the miniature scales.
4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3 killed the series. 1, 2, and 3 had it.
Well, one and two I did not like that much. Like in the theater, I walked out very disappointed. But I did enjoy 3. 3 I did, and the only reason I enjoy the prequels now is because of my son. My son Devo, he was here. You know, I have good memories of taking him to go see. I don't have good memories of the first 2 films. I was like, this isn't Star Wars. Once I saw Jar Jar Binks, I'm like, he ain't gonna be here long, is he? Oh my God, he's in the whole film. You know, I wasn't my thing. It was just,
I'm at 10. Just to let you know, I'm at 10% with my.
Yeah, I gotta get going anyway. We're at an hour and a half, and I'm gonna give myself because I didn't even know I was gonna be able to do. I'm like, how am I gonna do this interview? But you know, the show must go on.
I just don't want the phone clicking off. I'm at 10%.
Yeah.
So
I think I think before Devo moved to Canada and stuff, you know, he's I think the last movie in a theater that me and him saw was Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
So that movie kind of sticks with me a lot. So that was a special one.
Yeah, because of what was happening that led
it was more of the experience than in the memories. So
the love story and the second one was
Well, the third one, you could have just done the third one and I would have been happy.
Yeah.
It was all right. Yeah. But the
second
first
one, it was like, come on, man, the love story, it was okay. The worst acting in the world.
I hate sand. So sandy. Sand. But Rachel, hey, thank you. You got yourself a super fan with Rachel. She really loves what you do.
Right. No, she's a really good friend of Jake's.
Okay, so, and you know, I appreciate anybody who's been interacting too.
Yeah. I mean, I try telling as many people as possible. So, but thanks, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate the love.
And, what about Ravage 2? Any updates on that for anybody out there? Ravage, you're still waiting to really release that in its own way.
It's going to I'm just going to say something is in the works.
Okay.
I can't say more than that right now, but something is in the works so hopefully the public will be able to see it. But so the second one that I'm actually filming right now is now called Do Hybrids Dream of Humans? Instead of Ravage 2, The Hunted, it's like I said, it's more about hybrids. It's creatures. It's creatures. Yeah, it's kind of that what is that? To Electric Sheep Stream, from Blade Runner. It's kind of like a twist on that title. It's kind of a twist on that.
There's more to it. There's more to the Ravages. Yeah.
There's more to the Ravage. There are creatures. There's horned creatures. There's rabbits. There's zombies. I don't like calling them zombies. I call them ravaged creatures. But there's animals. There's there's wolf faces, and then there's humans that have animal parts, the legs, the hands, but they have a human face. So everything is backwards in this world. It's Planet of the Apes. It's a lot of Planet of the Apes involvement in it, but again, on its own twist, on my own take of it.
Sounds interesting. It sounds like you got yourself a world building situation of story writing that leaves you a lot of opportunity to go in any direction you want. It gives you, it sounds like one of those ones, because you talk about it even more than Butcher. But I enjoy. I know. I get why, because it's one of those ones where you can really play with your ideas and do so many different things with it.
Well, it's also simplicity.
Yeah.
I wrote The Butcher 2.
Yeah.
Again, I wrote Amityville Legend. I didn't even know you can send scripts out to festivals. That won 15 awards.
Wow.
Just the script alone.
That's impressive.
Just the script alone. So again, I don't want to make some crap for $20,000. If I have 150, 200, 500,000, that's what it deserves. simplicity. The location of the Ravage films is in mountains. It's in trails. It's in its own. You know, what I wrote for Ravage 2 was going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend the money on an actor or an actress that has a following and pay them $5,000. Well, that
Yeah.
$5,000 can go into a lot of shit. You know, a lot of special effect makeup could just
Yeah.
take that. You know what I'm saying? So the simplicity of it also, not having to spend a lot of money wastefully on renting out apartments, hotels, houses, this, that. I'm putting the money more into the movie, you know, to give the audience a good movie. And then, you know, saving the money instead of wasting that kind of money. I'm saying if I can save $30,000 or $40,000,
Well, when you're on a
then I'm
budget, you don't
sending
have
it.
money to waste. You gotta
Right.
figure out what's the most important thing that you're gonna spend the money on that's gonna make the movie work.
I'd love to, you know, everybody would love to be grandiose. And
Yeah.
make it the next one is the bigger one, the better locations, the this, the that.
Yeah. But you're not on an unlimited budget where you can do it. You gotta manage your money to make the film the best you can, and that's
Oh,
as important, I'm guessing, as filming, writing, or anything else. If you don't have the
right.
budget, you know, the right budget to pull it off, no matter how good it is, and if it just doesn't, you know, the money's not used the right way, the film doesn't really happen. And if it does, it doesn't become what you'd like it to be.
Right. I mean, we've all seen a lot of movies that are, you know, oh my God, you know, they spent this on this and this on this. And it's like, yeah, but your story sucks.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, okay. I'm glad you got a pretty location, you got a pretty house, and you got this person to star in it. But you know, where's the heart? Where's the movie? Where's the this? Where's the that? And a lot of them fall flat.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Ben worked with
Hey,
me
Ben.
in doing what I do. He was in the same field that I do, and I told you about.
Okay.
So he's an old coworker of mine. So yeah, Ben, it's good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you enjoyed
Thanks,
the
Ben.
show. Rachel Kelly, thank you for being here. Devo, thank you for being here. Jake.
Jake.
Who else we got here? Jake.
Jeffrey.
Steve Merlo, thank
Jeffrey.
you for showing up. My computer's not really letting me see things the way I want. Anthony S. Creek, another talented actor. He's in an upcoming film called Batman: The Killing Joke. And
Nice.
Yeah. And it also, I want to say he's in the Flower City Butcher, Camp Crystal Cabin 6, The Hawkmaker.
I've heard of the Flower City Butcher. I've heard of that. I've seen it
Yeah. You
on
probably
Facebook.
Yep. That's by Anthony Caimano. Got to give him a shout out.
Yeah, absolutely.
My Philippine friends, Chris Cali, Stepine, who else has been here? Chad Middleton. I love to give everybody a shout out who's been here. Devin Sisk. I know that's one of your friends, right?
Yes.
Jeffrey Grinnell. Jake for being here. My friend Interval for being here. Stephen Natalie. Am I saying it right?
Natalie.
Rampadora Girl, Flett Lives, Kyle Flett, Brett Wagner, The Lost Leatherface. We'll be talking to him Sunday. That'll be a fun one. Matt Fauci, thank you for showing up. Just so many people. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
And thank you, Michael.
Thank you, man. It's like I could just go on for another 3 hours.
Oh, we could definitely. Hey, when Ravage officially releases, you guys check it out. You know, we could talk a little bit more deep about the Ravage movies.
Did you see for yourself? Did you see the 2 shorts that were based on that? Did you? I mean, I could send you the.
I didn't see them. You can send me the links. I'll check it out.
I'll send you the links to them. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Because those particular scenes that are shorts are in the movie.
Okay.
So you'll know you'll get the vibe of the movie.
Yeah. Sounds like there's a lot of story that's to this movie that we haven't even seen yet.
I didn't even know. I didn't. who knew that I was going to do a trilogy basically, and then like a spin-off series, you know? So I mean, I dig the characters. I you know, if I could do 1,000 Fury Roads and Mad Maxes and that kind of world, Wastelands and Apocalypse and Waterworld, and you know, and just have fun playing, play with the cat. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, that's where my mindset is at right now. So
I think that's fantastic, man. I really do. I'm wishing you the best. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And it's been a real pleasure. It's so much fun, and I appreciate talking to people like yourself in the indie community that are really trying to create something special and putting a lot of heart and passion and really money out of their pocket to do it. So, guys, make sure you check out The Butcher. I left a link. You can watch it. It's in the description, whether you're on Facebook or not. Look forward to Ravage. We're gonna let me know when it's got an official release and everything that's going on with that. We'll make sure everyone's got an opportunity to check it out, and I'll post it in the Facebook Doomsday Script group. And
nice.
Yeah, best of luck with everything, man. I'm sure we'll stay in contact and
absolutely. Thank you. Was Phil Herman? Is he the one that got us together?
No, that was who got us together. Yeah, Phil Herman got us together.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to give a shout out to Phil because he's producing the Ravage series. He's one of my producers.
Yeah,
the Ravage community.
I was honored that he reached out to me and thought about me to have you come on and discuss your movies. So.
He's when Dean is looking at and talking to his dad.
Yeah.
On the that's Phil.
Okay.
Phil's in there. I stuck him in there too.
Gave a cameo.
He's gonna also write one of the. He's gonna write a short. He's gonna film a short. I'm writing it, and it'll be interesting to see from East Coast and how it's gonna come back here. But I'm gonna assemble it. I'm gonna write him in, and he's gonna go shoot it. And that should be interesting too. But I just want to shout out to Phil because he's always had my back, and he's helping me with distribution and things like that. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Phil Herman.
Well, thank you, Phil. I appreciate you thinking of me to have Michael come on and speak with them. I once again another fun interview.
Thanks.
And I always enjoy these. It's like I said, it's always fun to meet new people and talk about filming.
Yeah, man. I had a blast, though.
I'm glad you did. I did too. I'm glad you did. Chat, you guys were all awesome again. But we'll see you next time. I got another interview with Bill Smith tomorrow, who's in the Flower City Butch. Actually, no, he's in the Batman Killing Joke. He's playing Alfred Pennyworth, and that'll be tomorrow at 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. And then Sunday, we got a big one. So
nice.
Keep your eyes open, and I will see everybody soon. Take care.
Thank you, everybody.
Be safe.
Thanks, man.